heart of a mist-covered valley, nestled between ancient, towering trees, lay the small and forgotten town of Eldridge. Time seemed to have halted in this quaint hamlet, where the echoes of laughter and the warmth of community had faded into whispers carried by the wind. Eldridge was a place where stories lingered in the shadows, and its very soil held secrets untold. Once every century, when the moon cast an ethereal glow upon the valley, a mysterious traveling market materialized at the edge of town. The townsfolk spoke of the market in hushed tones, passing down tales from generation to generation. Whispers of goblins, otherworldly merchants, who offered enchanted goods that could fulfill the deepest desires of anyone daring enough to approach their curious stalls. As the 100th year approached, excitement and trepidation swirled through Eldridge. The townspeople speculated about the wonders that awaited them at the Goblin Market, a place known to manifest in realms beyond the ordinary. Legends spoke of time-altering trinkets, love potions, and artifacts capable of bringing fortune to those desperate enough to make a trade. However, the cautionary stories were also whispered in the late hours of the night, passed between elders with furrowed brows and haunted gazes. The tales told of the goblin's cunning nature, warning that the payment for the enchanted goods was seldom clear. Those who made deals with the goblins soon found that their wishes were granted at a price far steeper than they could have imagined. Eldridge's town square, where the market was said to appear, became a hub of anticipation. The air buzzed with a blend of hope and fear as the townspeople prepared for the imminent arrival of the otherworldly bazaar. Shops shuttered, and the townsfolk gathered, their eyes fixed on the mysterious space where the market was expected to materialize. As the clock struck midnight, the once empty square began to transform. Wisps of ethereal mist enveloped the cobblestone streets, and a soft, haunting melody echoed through the air. In the blink of an eye, the Goblin Market emerged from the shadows, a fantastical spectacle of flickering lanterns and vibrant canopies. The goblins, with twisted grins and mischievous glints in their eyes, began to unveil their enchanted wares. The townspeople, drawn by the allure of their deepest desires, approached the stalls with a mix of excitement and trepidation. Unbeknownst to them, the once sleepy town of Eldridge was about to be ensnared in a web of supernatural dealings that would shape its destiny for generations to come. The townspeople of Eldridge succumbed to the enchantment of the Goblin Market as they explored the stalls filled with wonders beyond their wildest dreams. Each booth offered an array of otherworldly items, from shimmering crystals that whispered promises of wealth to intricately crafted masks that claimed to unveil the secrets of the heart. As the night progressed, the air in the square buzzed with the whispers of bargains and exchanges. Eldridge's residents, their eyes gleaming with desire, traded their most cherished possessions, promising futures, and even fragments of their own souls for the elusive treasures that the goblins peddled. In a secluded corner of the market, a young artist named Amelia found herself drawn to a stall adorned with mystical paintings. The goblin proprietor, a creature with emerald green skin and elongated fingers, grinned at her approach. "Ah, young dreamer, I have just the canvas for your desires," the goblin crooned, revealing a painting that seemed to capture the very essence of love. The colors shifted and danced, evoking a warmth that stirred Amelia's heart. Unable to resist the allure, she struck a deal with the goblin. In exchange for the painting, Amelia offered her most treasured possession, a locket containing a lock of her deceased mother's hair. The goblin accepted the payment with a sly smile, and as Amelia clutched the enchanted artwork, a surge of bittersweet emotions enveloped her. Meanwhile, in the heart of the market, a middle-aged man named Thomas sought to regain his family's lost fortune. The goblins, perceptive in their dealings, presented him with a golden coin that promised untold wealth. Thomas eagerly handed over his ancestral pocket watch, a family heirloom passed down for generations. Yet, as the goblin disappeared into the shadows, Thomas felt a shiver run down his spine. Unbeknownst to him, the golden coin harbored a curse that would bind not only his fate but also that of Eldridge itself. The night wore on, and the Goblin Market became a whirlwind of desires, trades, and the faint echoes of laughter from the otherworldly merchants. The townspeople, now possessed by their newfound treasures, returned to their homes with a mix of elation and uncertainty. As dawn approached, the goblin market faded away, leaving behind an eerily silent town square. Eldridge, though draped in the deceptive calm of daybreak, had unwittingly sealed its fate. The enchanted goods bore unseen consequences, and the once forgotten town now teetered on the precipice of a supernatural abyss. In the midst of this mystical transformation, a group of unlikely heroes began to emerge, individuals whose fates were intricately woven into the fabric of Eldridge's newfound enchantment. As the townspeople awakened to the consequences of their deals, the need for these heroes would become more apparent than ever. They would soon find themselves on a perilous journey to navigate the tricks and traps of the goblin market, determined to break the curse that had bound Eldridge to the whims of the supernatural for generations to come. In the days following the goblin market's visit, Eldridge underwent a sinister transformation. The once charming town square now bore an air of foreboding, as the enchanted goods exacted their toll on the unsuspecting townspeople. Amelia, the young artist who had traded her mother's locket for the bewitched painting, found herself haunted by spectral visions that emerged from the canvas. Whispers of long-forgotten secrets echoed in her ears, and shadows danced across her studio, taking on grotesque forms. The enchanting warmth she initially felt turned into a chilling embrace that gripped her soul. Thomas, the man who sought to regain his family's fortune, witnessed his newfound wealth turn to dust. The golden coin, once promising prosperity, revealed its true nature as a harbinger of misfortune. Crops withered, livestock perished, and the once prosperous Eldridge was thrust into a state of poverty and despair. As the curses manifested, the townspeople gathered in the square, their faces etched with desperation. The once thriving community now bore the scars of their ill-fated deals with the goblins. Fearful whispers spread like wildfire, as tales of the cursed treasure's consequences circulated among the townsfolk. Amidst the growing chaos, a trio of individuals emerged as unlikely heroes: Lucinda, a reclusive herbalist with a deep connection to mystical forces; Caleb, a young blacksmith with a heart full of courage; and Eleanor, an elderly scholar who had studied the ancient lore of Eldridge for decades. Together, the trio delved into the hidden corners of Eldridge, seeking clues about the nature of the goblin market and the curse that bound their town. Lucinda's herbs and potions revealed traces of dark magic, while Caleb's smithing skills uncovered a hidden sigil within the enchanted artifacts. Eleanor, poring over ancient texts in the town's dilapidated library, stumbled upon a forgotten legend. The tale spoke of a pact made by Eldridge's founders with supernatural beings to protect the town from an imminent threat. However, the price for this protection was the binding of Eldridge to the goblin market, a curse that lay dormant until the townspeople succumbed to their deepest desires. As the heroes pieced together the puzzle, they realized that breaking the curse required confronting the goblins directly. Armed with knowledge and determination, Lucinda, Caleb, and Eleanor set out to locate the spectral remnants of the goblin market, which lingered in the shadows between worlds. Their journey led them to the outskirts of Eldridge, where the boundary between the mundane and supernatural realms blurred. Guided by the eerie melodies that still resonated in the air, they ventured into a realm of twisted illusions and shifting landscapes. Little did they know that the goblins, amused by the heroes' audacity, awaited their arrival in a realm where desires and nightmares intertwined. As Eldridge teetered on the brink of darkness, the heroes faced a treacherous path ahead, navigating the surreal and malevolent depths of the goblin market to unravel the curse that threatened to consume their town. The trio of heroes, Lucinda, Caleb, and Eleanor, ventured deeper into the ethereal realm where the remnants of the goblin market lingered. The air was thick with an otherworldly energy, and the eerie melodies seemed to beckon them further into the labyrinthine corridors of twisted illusions. As they pressed forward, the heroes faced hallucinations that preyed on their deepest fears and desires. Shadows morphed into grotesque figures, and the ground beneath them shifted like quicksand. Lucinda's herbs wilted, Caleb's courage wavered, and Eleanor's aged frame struggled against the malevolent forces that sought to break their resolve. The goblins, cunning and observant, watched the hero's every move with malicious glee. In the heart of the spectral market, the three found themselves standing before the twisted throne of the Goblin King. His emerald eyes glittered with malevolence, and a twisted grin spread across his grotesque face. "You thought you could break our curse?" The Goblin King sneered, his voice echoing through the realm. "Foolish mortals, you are but playthings in our grand design." Lucinda, realizing the gravity of the situation, attempted to concoct a potion to counter the goblin's magic. However, the eldritch nature of the realm distorted her herbs and rendered her potions ineffective. Caleb, determined as ever, tried forging a weapon capable of piercing the veil between worlds, but the malevolent energies warped his creations into twisted forms. Eleanor, leaning heavily on her staff, consulted the ancient texts she had brought with her. Her trembling hands traced the pages, revealing a revelation that struck fear into the hearts of the heroes. The curse, it seemed, was woven into the very fabric of Eldritch itself, and breaking it required a sacrifice that none of them were prepared to make. With a sinister chuckle, the Goblin King rose from his throne. "You see, dear heroes, the town is bound to us by blood, by desire, and by a pact that transcends your feeble attempts at intervention. Your efforts are futile, and Eldritch shall remain ensnared in our grip for eternity." As the heroes faced the truth, the goblins unleashed a wave of dark magic that ensnared them in ethereal chains. Their struggle was in vain, for the heroes were mere mortals caught in the web of supernatural deceit. The Goblin King, reveling in his triumph, pronounced their fate. "Eldritch is ours, and so are the souls of those who dared to challenge the goblin market. You shall become specters, forever tormented by the very desires that led you astray." The once hopeful trio, now bound in the goblin's chains, watched helplessly as the spectral remnants of the market merged with the very essence of Eldritch. The town, bathed in an eerie glow, became a permanent fixture in the twisted realm where desires and nightmares coalesced. As the last vestiges of resistance faded, the Goblin King and his malevolent kin reveled in their victory. The cursed town of Eldritch, once forgotten and now forever remembered, became a haunting symbol of the goblins' triumphant manipulation. The goblin market, having fed on the hopes and dreams of the townspeople, vanished into the shadows, leaving behind a town frozen in time, ensnared in the clutches of supernatural malevolence. The once forgotten Eldritch became a cautionary tale whispered in the winds, a tragic reminder of the perils that awaited those who dared to dance with the goblins and their twisted market.